Fidget toy? Stress ball? Board game? Which is it? Well, we're about to find out in this Dexterrrrific episode of Little Big Thumbs. Go Pop Presto is a child-friendly game from FoxMind that makes use of their Go Pop fidget toys. The game is all about quickly identifying information on a card, performing a bubble-popping activity, and then being the first to squish Bublo, the stress ball buddy, to win that round's card. There are 4 different varieties of card you'll encounter in the game. Number cards tell players how many bubbles to bop, ranging from 1 to 15. Finger cards require players to bop all of the bubbles with one specific finger. Pattern cards ask players to recreate a specific pattern on their popper, and the PoP card initiates a race for players to pop all of the bubbles on their bopper, flip it over, and then bop them all over again. The first player to collect 6 cards immediately wins the game, and that's all there is to it. Reaction-based manual dexterity games include smash hits like Spot It, Jungle Speed, and Go Splits, making it a challenge for similar games to stand out from the pack. However, the extra step of bopping the bubbles and then squishing the stress buddy is something unique, and more importantly, it's fun, and that is what makes it stand out from others in this corner of the gaming world. For kids, the game not only provides a skill they can work on and improve at, but it also is providing some pretty neat learning opportunities. For instance, the number cards have forced Little Bean to quickly recognize numbers higher than 10 and then quickly count those numbers either out loud or quietly to herself to try to finish the task. Those same cards encourage Big Bean to practice number jumping from 2 to 4 to 6 and so on. And so whether it's by design or not, it's providing a tailored challenge to each of them, which in my opinion is pretty darn cool. The pattern cards offer a different element to stretch the mental muscles of these little players, as there's quite a leap between identifying a bigger picture and then recreating it with individual bubble pops. As a side note, after the few dozen plays of this game we've logged, this is the only type of card that I stand a reasonable chance of actually winning in the game, so I have a slightly selfish appreciation for this particular kind of card. And how about after the kids are in bed? Is this a game that plays well with just adults at the table? Well, I would give it a conditional yes. Young or old, everyone enjoys having their hands on Bublo. There's a split second of peace that comes about from crushing its foamy little body. But in my plays with adults, the bubble popping races take on a pretty intense competitive streak. And whether or not that's a good thing will depend on your group of players. But in my opinion, when a game that is clearly intended for children takes on a completely different character with adults, well, I think that's a pretty neat thing. I do wish the rulebook had offered some clarity on whether or not we should be using just one hand to do the bubble popping, or whether we can go crazy and use them both. We found ourselves often making little changes on the fly, like if one player was getting far ahead of everyone else, we might ask them to play with their non-dominant hand, or we'll let everyone else play with 2 hands for a round. That kind of flexibility is fantastic, and if this rulebook gets an update at some point, I'd love to see some direction on how to play even just those first few games. But overall, Go Pop Presto is absolutely a Dexterrrrific board game, and one that we are pleased to stamp with our Golden Thumb Award. We've only had this game for a few weeks, and we've already logged upwards of 40 plays. Each game only takes about 15 minutes, and it is engaging from start to finish. And the fact that the box contains 4 of these fidget toys is just an added bonus and makes it a great travel game because it's got this extra activity. When you're on a long flight or a drive, little hands and minds can keep themselves occupied for a while with these extra little toys. And, well, that's going to wrap things up for this Dexterrrrific episode of Little Big Thumbs. Thank you to FoxMind for sending us a copy of this game to play and review, and thank you to each and every one of you for watching this video. And until next time, whether you've got little players or big players, make sure that you're playing games that make your thumbs go way up. Bye for now.